Can you look back to last season and before training camp started and Jimmy invited you out to work out with him and then kind of paying it forward now? How important was it for you to start that bond, and what did that mean for Jimmy for you last year?
Yeah, I just, obviously watched the draft. I was really excited to see, we got Precious. I just wanted to reach out and, be able to, try to make him feel at home and as comfortable as possible. I remember, getting drafted last year and coming in, and Jimmy took me under his wing. Not saying I'm taking, Precious under my wing, but just trying to make him feel comfortable. I let him know, we're glad to have you, and we're looking forward to getting to work. And if you want to get any workouts in before the season, just let's set it up. So, I'm really excited to have him, and he's going to be a really good player. And I think, Miami's going to fall in love with him.
All right, next up we have Ethan Skolnick with 5 Reasons Sports. Go ahead, Ethan.
Hey, Tyler, it doesn't feel like that long ago that you were playing in the finals. And so kind of asking about what you've developed since then, it hasn't been that much time. But after your experience in the playoffs, what is it that you wanted to focus on the most before you got into training camp in terms of the next set of skills?
Just perfecting everything, trying to continue to, be as sharp as possible, be as efficient as possible. But I think, I'm really working on just getting my handles tighter, being able to be that primary ball handler if needed. I think just continuing to get stronger on both ends, offensively, defensively, and then, just being more consistent and, really trying to become a more complete player. I want to be able to make plays for others at a consistent rate this year. So we'll see what happens, but, I've been really been working on my game and trying to just make it as complete as possible.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, next we have Ira Winderman with the Sun Sentinel. Go ahead, Ira.
Hey, Tyler, welcome back. The one thing about you is you've always wanted more on your plate. You always wanted to reach higher levels. When you look at the season, you got a taste of starting in the playoffs. It worked out for you. Is that sort of a goal for you, sort of the next step to show that you can be a consistent NBA starter? And is that something maybe that you're targeting after getting that taste in the bubble? Thank you.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think everybody's goal is to start or try to impact winning as much as possible. So, I'm just continuing to get better, and hopefully, I can do whatever it takes to become a starter. But, I'm willing to do whatever the team needs me to do. I came off the bench last year and it worked out well. So, whatever coach wants me to do, I'm willing to do.
All right, next we have Brandon Tobin with 790 Ticket Radio. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Tyler. You guys had mostly an awesome season last year by all accounts. Nobody expects you guys to get where you were. But when you had time to dwell on losing in the finals, like, did you guys take any pain in the offseason as motivation, knowing that you want to get back there? And, like, how did that, I guess, work into you getting into this weird offseason?
Yeah. It was all fun. A great experience to be able to make it to the finals. We had a tremendous run, but for me personally, yeah, I was, not the happiest that we lost. I felt like, we all could have gave it a little bit more, including myself. I feel like, we were 2 games away, and, it is what it is. It's in the past now, but I feel like, we have a great group of guys again this year that are really motivated due to that loss. And, for me, I know personally it's motivated me all summer or all season to get back there. And then, I think that's our only goal at this point.
All right, next we have Will Mansell with WPLG TV. Go ahead, Will.
Hey, Tyler, good to see you. Even though you obviously are just coming off your rookie year, it feels like you were drafted like 3 or 4 years ago, as crazy as this year was and has been. For you, did everything happen quicker than maybe you expected, not just as a team to get to the finals, but your development and the role that you had? And what'd you learn from that whole experience?
Yeah, I learned a lot. I feel like, I was thrown into the fire early, and that's everything I, could have asked for. With great teammates and coaches, they really trusted me throughout the whole run to be able to, had the ball in my hands, make plays, and just be out there on the court with a lot of veteran guys. So, it does feel like it's, my third, fourth year. It's been a long, long time since I've been drafted. So, I'm just ready for year two. Feel like I'm better than I was in the bubble already, and I'm ready to get started.
All right, next we have Heat TV announcer Eric Reed. Go ahead, Eric.
Thank you, Nick. Hey, Tyler, good to see you. Welcome back.
Hey.
Just curious about your rookie season got interrupted by that mid-season injury, but then it was like a second life in the bubble, and then your best life in the playoffs. You logged the second most minutes on the team in the playoffs to Jimmy, and your fourth quarter minutes were off the chart. I mean, which is an ultimate sign of confidence from your coaches and your teammates. I'm just curious what your playoff experience, what starting 5 games in an NBA final, how did it change you, and what was the experience like for you as you look back on it now?
Yeah, it was a great learning experience. For me to just be able to play at that high of a level. That's the highest level that we'll all play at. We feel like that's the highest level. So we have a lot more that we can show because we've played at the highest level. And, for me, I was just blessed to be able to do that in my first year, because now every single year, every summer, I'll be able to just remember that feeling. And I want to be able to get back, every year. So, I'm extremely motivated. But yeah, I'm ready for year 2, and I'm excited.
All right, next we have Anthony Chang with the Miami Herald. Go ahead, Anthony.
Hey, Tyler, with what Eric just said, with basically everything you accomplished in the playoffs last year, you have some high expectations surrounding you entering this season. There was even a Jack Harlow even named a song after you, obviously. Like, there's some hype around it. Do you feel that sort of thing, and how do you handle that, with the season approaching?
Expectations are other people make expectations for me, but I feel like, I have my own expectations and, my own goals. So, everybody can expect what they want, but at the end of the day, I have my own expectations, like I said, and my own goals that I'm chasing. So, that's really what it is.
All right, next we have Cooper Moorhead with Heat.com. Go ahead, Coop.
Hey, Tyler. Now that you've had a taste of playoff basketball and you've seen how teams scout and approach a 7-game series, I'm curious as to what your goals are on the defensive side of the court. Where exactly do you want to improve on that end, and what would be a successful year defensively for you this coming season?
I think I took strides last year defensively too. I think from summer league to the finals, I wasn't even close to the same player defensively either. And there's obviously a lot of room to improve, but I'm with the Heat, and they preach defense, so that's all I'm really focused on, is just being able to impact that side of the ball and do it at a high consistent rate. Whether it's guarding the 1 or the 2, whatever it may be, I just want to be able to keep the ball in front of me more often, keep it out of the middle, and just really just compete on that side of the ball. I don't know what it looks like, but you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to tell if someone's playing good defense. So that's really what I want to do.
All right, next up we have Shannon Irish with Heat TV. Go ahead, Shannon.
Hi, Tyler. Thanks for your time. I was wondering, as a fellow sharpshooter, how much you've seen Duncan's confidence grow, not only as just a shooter, but as a player on the rise.
Yeah, I think he's definitely on the rise for sure. From when we first played together in summer league to now, he's not even, the same player, confident wise, or even as a player on the court. He's just, taking tremendous strides, game after game. He's really one of the best shooters in the world. People don't just say that he can really shoot the ball. So, I'm excited to be able to see, where he goes next and what steps he takes next.
All right, next we have Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic. Go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Tyler, obviously, Phoenix has now Jay Crowder, who made an impact with you guys in Miami, although he was there just for a short period of time. What's one or two things that he did early when he first got there that made you and the guys say, okay, he can fit in here. He can be a difference maker here. And what impression did he leave on you?
Just his approach. He's a winner. Just like Jimmy is. Jay. It's tough to see Jay, leave. Obviously he came, mid-year, but I feel like, he helped us tremendously on both sides of the floor. He's just a leader, and he wants to win. So, Phoenix got a good one and a good vet, to be able to help their young guys over there in Phoenix. And, I hated to see him leave. I really wanted him to come back. So, I'll be rooting for him as, he said he'll be rooting for me.
Thanks, Tyler.
All right, next we have Ethan Skolnick again. Go ahead, Ethan.
Hey, Tyler, just to follow on the starting thing. Now that you've done both, we're coming off the bench for most of the season and then obviously got an opportunity to start some in the bubble. What were the differences for you in terms of preparation, and does either role sort of, fit your typical preparation better?
Like I said before, not everyone wants to start. So, when you're preparing for a game, you prepare as you're starting. But I mean, if you're not, if you're coming off the bench, everybody has a role. Only 5 people can start. So, you just got to make adjustments. I started the first 3-4 games last year, and then, I sat on the bench, or I came off the bench for the rest of the year. So, I'm just, whatever my role is, I'm ready to take it on. I feel like I can always make the most out of my role, no matter what it is. So, I know Coach will put me in the right spots to make me successful, and whether that's starting or coming off the bench, I'm excited to just get going.
All right, next up we have Nick Farce with The Score. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, Tyler, if you're willing to reflect a little bit more on the bubble, I'm keen to ask you about the point late in Game 5 of the finals when you guys were down 1 and Jimmy Butler got fouled, and then he leaned over the ad board behind the bucket out of exhaustion before getting up to hit the go-ahead free throws at that point. What was it like for you to watch Jimmy in that moment, and what do you think that sequence sort of represented about how he played and performed in the playoffs?
Yeah, everybody's seen how exhausted he was. That just shows how much will and fight he has and wants to win. He left everything he had out there. He asked me to go on vacation. He was going on vacation for like 22 days or something like that after the season. I was like, I think you need to go by yourself and just enjoy it. You did a lot for us this year. So, I was just, to see him do that, just him as the leader of our team, to be able to see him to do that was just, really inspiring as a young guy in the league.
All right, next we have Heat courtside reporter Jason Jackson. Go ahead, Jax.
Greetings, Tyler. My apologies if this has come up. I jumped in a little late, but how are you looking at this season, trying to balance what you've presented as really kind of the humility of fully understanding, not knowing what you don't know, and gaining experience through your vets and your time on the floor, with the desire to want to be and to do more?
Could you say that again? Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. It's really just the idea of just being in your second year.
Yeah.
Still growing as an NBA player, growing as a young man, having these great vets, yet you now have had the ultimate experience.
Right.
You've been a key player on a team that made it to the NBA Finals. How do you balance still growing in that space with wanting to do and be more?
I think just not losing sight of the big picture. I'm still 20, so just like you said, we still have amazing vets, and I'm still young. So, I can get good or get better by myself. I can try to do more, but that doesn't mean I can't learn and still pick up on things from Jimmy, Goran, UD, even Bam, and the rest of the guys. So I'm just excited to be able to get going for year 2. I know year one, I learned so much. I'm just excited to see how much I can learn in year two and take it on to year three.
Thank you, both.
Okay, what looks to be our final question is coming from Christos Trisotas from SDNA Greece. Go ahead.
Hello, Tyler. During the off-season, Miami Heat re-signed Goran Dragic, Bam Adebayo signed a Supermax extensions, UD resigned, and also Mo and Avery Bradley adding to their roster. How important are these moves for not only for the team but also for your development as a player to learn from these experiences, guys?
Yeah, like I said, still young, so having guys like Goran come back, the new guys we added, Avery and Mo, who are very experienced vets. I'll just be able to learn is like I said, I'll just continue to be able to learn. I'd put a great team together again with a lot of a mix of young guys and vets again. So I think it's going to be a great year. I'm excited that Bam was able to get his max. There's no one more deserving than Bam. So I'm just excited for everything that happened this off season, last season, and just excited to see what happens here in the future.
And also, you were 2 wins away from the championship last season. This season, how far from the championship you are?
Yeah, like you said, 2 games away, from winning it. So, it's a long road to get there. But we feel like with the right pieces we have, we can get back. But it's going to be a long season. It is short, but it is still going to be long. It's going to be a learning process. There's going to be lots of ups and downs. But at the end of the day, championship is our only goal. So we're just building up for that.
All right, we have an additional question. Manny Navarro with The Athletic. Go ahead, Manny.
Hey, Tyler, apologize. I got like an unstable internet connection, so if you were asked this, I apologize. But did anybody ask you about Precious and those workouts that you guys, I guess, had, the conversations right after you got drafted and so forth?
Yeah, I could elaborate on it again if you would like. Yeah, so I just reached out to Precious after the draft. Obviously, I watched the draft. Was just able to reach out to him and let him know, that I was in the same position he was last year, coming in as a rookie, with this great winning team, and I just tried to make him feel as comfortable as possible. Like I said, I was in his shoes, and I know what it can be like coming into arena by yourself at a young age. So just trying to, just let him know that, we're all excited to have him, and he's a really good player. So I'm excited. I think Miami's really going to fall in love with him.
And I guess just how familiar were you with him before the draft? Like, did you watch him play at all? And I guess what did you think of his game?
Yeah, he's I seen him through high school. He's one grade below me, so I seen him through high school. I didn't get to watch much of him at Memphis, but we got a couple workouts in, and he's really skilled and strong. He's a stretch 4. I think he'll be really good.